Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Actors Podcast. We have the most beautiful duo in all of Vancouver, Average Citizen. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Nice to see you.
What's your day today?
Great. Yeah. How are you guys?
Amazing.
Oh, so productive.
Too productive.
Too productive. Actually, for somebody with ADHD like me, having a productive day is like a huge aberration. So
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
no
Can
naps,
you be
nothing.
too productive?
No,
Like,
no.
Yeah.
You got too much done?
I'd find my nap. Actually, I'm gonna do tomorrow. Go to the gym and eat.
Yeah. Go for a swim.
Oh, yeah.
That's a paralegal dream. So I guess where I wanted to start with you is all the way back, way back, because you're artists, you're DJs, you're producers, you're event planners, you throw parties, you've done so many things in the city as well. I guess take me back almost to kind of your first love and your first memories of music. What was kind of that thing that really drew you in to music and kind of solidified the love of music in your life for you?
For me, I think it's hard to know like the exact moment or memory that I had when everything was solidified for me with music, but I would say that it started in childhood. My parents always had music playing. They're always playing records. My dad plays a ton of instruments, so our house was just always filled with music. Road trips were filled with music. So for me, like it was always a music-filled household. And my parents would have parties on the weekend, and my sister and I would be like dancing on tables. That sounds awful, but it was like coffee tables, like before we went to bed.
That sounds awesome.
We were just always like surrounded in so much music. So I think I can't pinpoint like an exact memory, but there's like a bubble of musical memories.
Just overall
Happiness
influence.
and family and music and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the good memories stretch back as far as I can remember. So I feel really blessed to have that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Did you ever have an aha moment as to where like you felt like this is gonna be what I do for work then? Like this is what my career is gonna be?
I think, okay, so I grew up like playing tons of sports, but when I was really young, I had this drive towards being a performer. I wanted to be an actress when I was younger, and I wanted to be on the stage, and I wanted to sing, and I wanted to dance. And then I found sports, and that gave me an outlet for like my artistic, creative adventures and the performance-based piece of me. And it wasn't actually until I met Josh that I started to switch gears, because I also had like a big interest in sports psychology. I had like a really, I had some pivotal moments where I recognized like what I'm saying to myself inside my head has such a profound impact on how I feel, on my performances, on how much effort I put forth, on my motivation. So I went on to get a master's degree in sports psychology. But I always felt like there was like something missing, you know, like that performer piece of me. And then I started going to music festivals, and I had some pretty pivotal moments at Shambhala Music Festival and getting into the scene. And then when I met Josh at Coachella in 2012, I was like, oh, I'm so interested in the DJ career that because he was already a DJ. I'm like, that's so cool. And I love that lifestyle, and like maybe next life. And he was like, fuck are you talking about next life? Like this life.
Do it right now.
Do it now. And so that's when things started to switch for me. But it's interesting. Someone asked me the other day, like, when did you know that you were gonna be like an artist full time? And I was like yesterday. Because seriously, like my whole life, I've identified as an academic, as an athlete, as a mental performance consultant, and I kind of couched music into a hobby. And there's like so many psychological underpinnings to that. And I think one of them is that, you know, we're taught that there's no money in that, or that's not a real job, or the fact that my parents bankrolled my education. And, you know, so I think there's just also society tries to like put us into like these little like
container
places that we don't fit into. And so I think very recently I've actually found the courage to be like, okay, I'm an artist, I'm doing this, I'm doing it full time. So yeah, there's my very long answer.
please. We love it.
Yeah.
And so, what about for yourself? What was that first couple of memories? A little inkling.
Like when I first started liking music, I mean, yeah, I wish my parents were having parties like that. I mean, maybe they were.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You were invited.
My parents put me in piano, which I hated, so that didn't last. But it was probably just listening to music when I was like a little kid, you know. And as for like for like a career, I'm not sure. When I was a teenager, I was like I had like really rough like school life and stuff, so music was always just like my best friend. It was always there for me, you know.
Yeah.
I could always count on it,
Mhm.
and no matter how bad shit got. And yeah, I just always loved playing it and playing it for friends, and I would like I would play even like the jukebox. We went to the pool. I would just be like next, and I would just love like certain songs from albums. Like didn't know I was gonna be a DJ at all, but music was always there for me. But I went to my first rave in like '99, and as soon as I went to that, I immediately just knew.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw a DJ, I was like, I'm gonna do this.
Which one was that?
I went to Apex '99.
Oh, yeah.
Cabbage Patch Field.
Yeah.
Oh.
My brother took me, and I was
Cabbage
like, I'd never been to a rave, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah,
Why not?
they used to throw them in Chilliwack in like these huge cabbage fields.
Yeah.
Like the farmers back then, they didn't really know what was happening, so they would just be like, "Oh, here's 10 grand." They're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And they did all sorts of shit. Yeah, I think there had to be like 10,000 people there or something. It was big.
That's
They
wild.
were like huge. Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, they were huge.
Yeah.
I never went to any of those because I was so into hip hop and R&B at the time, and just
Yeah.
not trying music. didn't
Which is
fit.
really what I was listening to too. But my brother's like, "Check this out." And then I saw drum and bass, never even heard it.
Yeah.
And saw a DJ, and I'm like, I don't even know what all this shit is that's going on, but just the energy and the
I want
people and the lights. And I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. I never will. Oh my god, no. So I bought the tables, and I just started throwing my own parties in the fields.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
That's
I would I would
Yeah.
die to see you like playing a show on all vinyl like when you first
Yeah,
started.
yeah, it's all vinyl.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know,
Yeah,
I
they had
mean,
CDs,
they might have had
but
shit like
yeah,
that.
they were
Like
really
clubs.
they were really clunky.
Yeah, in like nightclubs.
Yeah,
Like
nightclubs, yeah.
in raves, it was just
Yeah.
vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like maybe the first like 6 years it was all records I played on,
Yeah.
and then I kind of went to like records Serato,
Mhm.
and then eventually got rid of the computer and CDJs. So.
Mhm.
All together. And what kind of genres were you guys into at the
Well, I
time?
mean, I first started with drum and bass. That's what I
Mhm.
played, and then I went to like breaks, and then there was like this weird time where like electro house was like really cool,
For
and
sure.
then there was like this wobble kind of house stuff
Yeah.
that happened,
Mhm.
and then
Just like the whole 2000s he's describing.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I started, I guess, then I kind of went into like this trap phase, I guess.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I
Oh,
started
now we're
like,
2012, 13.
Okay.
yeah. That's when we started, that's when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a new disco, but then I was really like, I was like,
Tropical
that
House
kind
had
of
a
like,
pop moment in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. 2014,
Oh my
maybe
God,
2013.
that's
Should we even make
yeah,
one mix?
Yeah.
We made like one
We
mix.
made one Tropical House.
Yeah.
mix.
And then like the old speed garage
Yeah.
and like old drum and bass wobble sound
Yeah.
started like coming back.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is like the sound that
Uh-huh.
I originally,
For
liked
sure.
and that
Yeah.
we started incorporating into our music and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
There you go. The
Yeah.
journey through. So you guys met in a hammock. Is that correct? I was
Oh no.
No.
but at Shambhala.
I fell in love with
No,
it.
Oh, you fell in
Yeah.
love in a hammock.
No, we met at Coachella at the
Yeah.
Tupac one, yeah.
That was
Oh.
but the hammock was lightning in a bottle.
I fell in love the second I met her.
Yeah.
So I'm maybe not her. Took her.
It was.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so tell me about that journey because you guys obviously DJ together a lot, make music together a lot. Take me back into those first couple of years that you guys were like getting to know each other.
Well, when I met him, I hated him. Just kidding. No. No,
I'm scared.
I loved him too. Like there's
Yeah.
like I read this quote the other day that love is, what did it say? It's like a kinetic draw beyond rational comprehension. And I think that really describes like the way that I felt when I met him. It was like this kinetic draw, and I think he felt the same way too. But for me, it was also layered with like there was a lot of things about him that I didn't like, and there was a lot of baggage that he had at the time too that I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. So I was like pushing him away, but also like courting him at the same time. Push pull within me.
Yeah.
But when we met at Coachella, we were like, whoop, and we hung out and had like a really good time, and then separated, but we were both with other people at the time, and there was a year of us like going to shows together. He would always put me on guest lists for all of his hip hop shows and stuff like that. And then we both became single, and then we decided to go to Lightning in a Bottle music festival together with two of our other friends.
Yeah.
And that's where the hammock happened. So we were at the Woogie stage, and we're in a hammock watching Pumpkin play. I don't know if you guys know Pumpkin.
No.
He's now passed away, but
Check out his set.
amazing
Yeah.
DJ, lots of like super heartfelt, like happy house music. Like he's known to do really like long closing sets where everyone's like crying.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially now.
Emotional.
Yeah, emotional, like really beautiful sets. And so yeah, we were sitting in a hammock and we watched the whole set together, and it was
He put a spell on us.
Yeah.
That's what he does. That's what Pumpkin does.
And that's when that was the trip when he told me like I'm gonna teach you how to DJ.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna show
On
you
our way
everything.
there,
And
yeah.
he started kind of manifesting how everything was gonna go on the spot, and I was always like, oh yeah, that sounds nice, but like okay, I didn't really believe it until he started teaching me, and then we started DJing together, and yeah, it just like continued to evolve from there.
Did you think that when you said I'm gonna teach you how to DJ, did you ever think that you guys would do it together? Like as a thing? Like did that even come into your mind for a second?
Not at that moment.
Yeah.
I had like this
That's
full
so wild,
like, vision of like of her. I gave her a name and everything, and I was like, this is how the stage is gonna be.
He's like butterflies.
Butterflies. She's like, real butterflies. I'm like, we're gonna snap boxes up. And we're gonna die. I'm like, it's part of the show. No, you can have them on string. So no, I didn't think about no, that wasn't like the plan. But I was just like, because I wasn't really thinking like that. Like, oh, DJ with me. I was like, oh, you just got it's so
Yeah, you
fun.
just
Like,
gotta
you
learn
know, if you're into it. It's the best.
You want to give her the joy of creating music and having a stage.
Mhm.
What was DJing at that time for you? What did it represent? What was it meaning to you?
Like that when we met.
Yeah.
It it's like an interesting time for me with DJing. I was like almost like more into promoting then. Like I did still DJ, but it was like at first I was like throwing raves and I was like really into DJing, and then I kind of went through this like up and down where I would like be more heavier into throwing the shows, and I was throwing like hip hop shows, and I wasn't really DJing hip hop, but I wasn't really like trying that hard to like get booked or play. I wasn't producing or anything, so I just like did it at home really at that point. I loved it. Like I would play out sometimes, really, but did you really see me play out very much like when I met you? Not that much.
You would like book yourself to open for shows sometimes. And it would be like you'd play like a trap set or something.
Yeah, we'd open for MGK.
Or like E40 or like
MGK.
Oh, so sick. Yeah.
So trap works. It's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, before that, for years, like I played like I was playing all the big raves and P&E and everything. Like it was all about it. And it kind of went like this sometimes. But
actually,
that's why I quit.
You and Blondie,
so we could really go into it. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got excited.
Yeah.
You and Shmati used to DJ at the strip club.
Oh yeah. The Bird. Oh my God. Because strippers love trap. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
It's
That was
weird.
weird.
So
Yeah, that didn't happen very many times.
I have a theory about that because when I was going out the most in the 2011 to 13 range, I was like 4 nights a week sometimes. I noticed that, and I've probably told this theory before here, but like most people are attracted to the music that has the opposite energy of them. So like when you go to like hip hop and trap and like dirty south, like grimy music shows or even dubstep bass shows, so many girls there, so many girls. And then you go to like a Juna trance show, and it's just nothing but dudes as far as the eye could see.
Yeah.
The only girls there are literally
The
and then the only girls there are literally attached to the guy's pelvis.
Yeah.
There's no free birds around.
Yeah.
It's just like,
That's so true, man.
but it's actually
true.
I
And it's been like that the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're just trying to fill that yang to our yin, you know what I mean? Like it's like whatever energy that you want,
You crave
that you crave, that you don't normally get. I think
That's interesting.
it's just a theory, but like it's proven out almost.
I was thinking
all the
of that
time.
too because I was like, why are so many girls at these bass music shows? Like I like bass music. I've been in and out of my bass music phase, but I think it's just that like rawness that you crave when you don't necessarily have it in your life. You just love that kind of energy.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
obviously, you know, there's
Yeah.
exceptions, but like when you just go to these shows, especially the masses, and you see like 10,000 people and there's just like nothing but girls
Yeah.
at a dubstep show, and you're like, or a trap show, and you're like,
Mm.
you know, I remember even like I was going to hip hop shows and trans shows at the same week sometimes,
Mhm.
and I'd be like, there's nothing but chicks here. It's Walk a Flock of Flame. It's nothing but chicks.
Mm.
It's like 4 dudes,
Yeah.
80 chicks, Walk a Flock of Flame. And I was like, what is going on? And then I'd go to like a trance show and there's like 4 girls out of 12,000 people there.
Mm.
I'm just like, what is going on? Well, obviously these are exaggerations, but like
Yeah.
it's like it was so stark that I was like,
Mm. Waka's great.
And it's happening
We did
all-
like 4 shows with him.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
yeah, he's great. He's great.
I think I might have played one of those. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we did, right?
When in the green room, and he was like looking at his rider, and he ordered a veggie tray, and he was like, "Is this shit organic?"
My buddy got him to go like vegan and organic. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like super picky by the 4th show or something, the 3rd show.
I had my friend with me, and she's a nutritionist, and she was yes.
Yeah. He was like that when we met him, like the first time.
Yeah.
But what's his face got him all on that. That's funny. I remember that. But yeah, Waka's cool. Nice guy.
Yeah. So I guess within promoting too, like, did you have a network of people that you always kind of connected with? Did you go out and paper the neighborhood at the time? Like, because when would you have been doing this? Like, probably a little bit before social media.
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
really
when
popping
it
off.
started, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all hand flyers. I did it. I did it all myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would take like thousands of flyers and I just go to every single party and hit every car,
Yeah.
stand at the door, hit every person. Like,
Yeah.
it's the only way you know a party was happening back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before Facebook. I guess when was Facebook like to the public? 2006 or
Wow.
7?
yeah, 6-ish. Yeah,
6 for the
7-ish,
public.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
in 2003 they started in the
Yeah,
public.
6 or 7-ish. Yeah.
So I started in like 2000 was my first one.
But when I was
So it
promoting in
paper.
the early
It's paper.
2010s to
Yeah.
12, 13s, I was flyering too.
We still were,
Yeah.
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 I don't see flyering anymore, but
Yeah.
before COVID, like or before like even 2014 and 15, even up to that point, I was seeing flyering at least at the big shows and on Granville for sure. There was flyring, but now I
Yeah.
don't see it at all.
It's not like Facebook came out and like immediately no one flyered. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
there
no,
was,
definitely
like
not.
Facebook, there was
Definitely
Forming
not.
Chaos. Remember Forming Chaos?
Yeah,
That was like a whole chat thing. And I think there was like a Victoria one. I can't remember. What's the Victoria one? There
Oh,
was like certain chat boards
yeah.
where everything would get posted on and Club Zone.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's where you
Yeah.
do it all for a
Yeah.
while. But yeah, hell of flyers.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just my first rave had like 40 people at it or 50 or something, and
Yeah.
then I built Summer Breakup and I had like 6,000 at it one year, and
Oh,
Snoop
wow.
Dogg headlined it. Like
Oh
we
my
built it up,
gosh.
it was huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just took time, and then started doing it online, but yeah, posters and flyers. It was always
Mhm.
paper,
Yeah.
Yeah.
always really.
And
Yeah.
the network
Even
that
even
you're
when
creating.
even the last hip hop voted, I'm sure we did posters.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We're gonna do posters for this show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
play.
for playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we
But
do
as for
this
flyers, yeah, it's like kind of, and then people would start, it's a kind of waste and shit
Yeah.
to throw out that much paper.
Yeah.
So after a while, people would start calling that up, right? Like, you don't have to do this anymore.
Yeah.
They're right.
Yeah.
Kill the trees.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how it was. Just grinding.
That actually reminds me
by
at,
myself.
Yeah.
at the foundation events, they weren't flyering, they were going up to people with QR codes.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
come to this party, they show the poster of it and like scan the QR
Scan it,
code
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I saw. I just remembered seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
That's
age.
the way the new generations do it.
Yeah.
So
So you can just look at it with your
Yeah.
contacts.
Yeah.
Your eye contact.
Your Google Vision contact lenses or whatever.
Put a good thing on.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
So I guess when you guys decided to become DJs together and form Average Citizens, in the first couple of years, how was that kind of like, I wouldn't say negotiation, but was there compromise? Was there, you started playing on billboards and Electric Love a couple of times. How was that creating Average Citizens together?
Compromise. Well, yeah. I mean, I was in a group with like my brother and my buddy. We were called Decimal Empire, and I was like, oh, we're gonna bring Danny into the group, and they're like, no.
No.
And then I'm like, okay, well, then I'm out. So that,
Not really.
well,
how
kind of how the quickest story. Like, that's what you say.
Okay,
the group folded before that.
Sure.
Don't Yoko Ono me.
No, it wasn't like that. I don't mean it like that. But it's pretty much what happened. Like they weren't really having it, and plus it was like sometimes it's hard enough with 2 people DJing. Like you
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah.
So there's already 3 of us, and they're like, I'm like, now I'm gonna bring her in. And they're just like, what the fuck? So that didn't
Yeah.
work out. That was the question, but
Yeah.
so but then we just always DJed so much together. You played a few shows by yourself, like you did your thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we just always did it. So we're like, it's so fun. So we're like, it was just obvious. That we
Yeah.
would do it together.
But
Yeah.
there's definitely like
It was hard on 2 days.
it was a that was hard too.
Yeah.
But I think like okay, so in the very beginning, because Josh comes from, bless your heart, this like a junglist sort of upbringing, right? Where he would go digging for records and it would be like, okay, this is my record, I only have this record. And so the mentality is like, I'm gonna go and play this and no one else has my shit, right?
Mhm.
So when we first started DJing together, he wouldn't even share his music with me.
Yeah.
And it was like a fight for a while where I was like, if we want to do this together, we need to be on the same page and we need to share it together. So to go out, which is wild to even think about that now.
Mhm.
So I think that there's always going to be creative differences because like no 2 people are ever going to see things the exact same. Like we're all like Rick Rubin, music producer, he talks about us all being like prisms and everything that comes through is like refracted into like this array of colors, and that's by way of like our mood that day, our history, our preferences, what we ate, our sleep, etc. And so like you could never have like 2 perspectives that are going to be the exact same.
Yeah.
But the good thing is when you put like 2 filters together, you get something that's completely different and magical and couldn't have been on its own. So I think that we complement each other, but there's definitely been a bit of struggle over the years, but we've really learned to listen to each other. And even if like he says something and I'm like, I don't like that idea, we'll just play it out. We'll be like, okay,
Let's try it.
let's
if
see
we
what
like it.
happens. And it's not about like who's right or wrong. It's like let the best idea win.
Mhm.
And not even win, but evolve.
Mhm.
Let's let the music speak. So
Mhm.
we've gotten really good at doing that. And sometimes there's still like a little bit of like, well, no, I want to do it this way. But I think that we're getting pretty good at listening to each other and working, like really working together. And that comes with a lot of trust in each other over the years too, right? So
And it's so awesome being able to have someone to bounce everything off of and like share with. Like I guess 12 years I DJed by myself, so I would just know when I played it out to people. If it, but having somebody and being able to always like figure it out, it's like it's so much more fun and like I don't know. I feel like it's just really taking it a lot farther.
yeah.
Mhm. For sure, the greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
That and also traveling too. It's really nice to be able to like be together, have somebody there.
Mhm.
A lot of DJs by themselves and stuff, so
Yeah.
it's nice. There's been compromises, I guess, but I think more than anything, it's been awesome. Not much compromises. Especially now that we have 4 decks. We used to play this on 2 and 1 mixer.
And they'd be like,
That was hard.
Yeah.
But you're always waiting. And
Yeah.
finally I'm like, we need 4 decks.
So how does it
Yeah.
how does it work with it? Because I'm interested in the technicality of the stuff, I guess. How does it work now that you have 4? Like, are you each of you takes on one side, and then like, but so do you go back and forth, or you're like, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
2, you do 2?
We used to do 2, but that bored us too.
Yeah,
go back and forth.
back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth. Yeah,
So now it's just 1, 1, 1, 1.
yeah.
Because we used to do 2, but then it's kind of like waiting around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't last because we're like, fuck this. Because you want to, when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
DJing, you want to
Yeah,
DJ.
you touch the button,
And
do the
if
things.
you've heard us play, it's like we don't even barely let the song play.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So how are we gonna wait for 2 songs? Like,
You're
yeah.
just so excited about the track.
Yeah.
Put in.
I just like to keep like the hype going. You know? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Definitely.
I'd love to like watch you guys how that's all interacting with the 4 different channels, and you guys just picking a song and have another one on this deck, and then this one's ready to go, and then like
Yeah.
that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
You know what?
Especially like you said, because you guys aren't like progressive DJs where you're letting these things fucking
Yeah.
build out. You're just like
Yeah.
bang, bang,
Party
bang.
rock.
Yeah.
House, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Party vibes.
Yeah.
DJs are great for that
Mm-hmm.
because you got so much there.
Mm-hmm.
And the A9, like the
Yeah.
new A9 mixer
Mhm.
has been really pivotal for us because it has the dual cues.
Oh really?
So
Yeah.
you can listen,
Yes.
so I don't have to hear what he's doing. I can
Right,
just
exactly,
listen
yeah.
to my track, and then I can listen to the one I want to mix into, or all of it, so you can really choose what you're
Mhm.
listening to. So before we have to like almost like wait to like cute.
You're
Yeah.
still waiting.
Yeah.
That was like the last wave.
Yeah.
Now we're not waiting for
Thank you,
nothing.
Pioneer.
Yeah.
So do you travel with your gear then?
No.
No. So they have to have that in order for you to go to play
Yeah.
the gig.
Well, I mean, we
If
try.
they want to play.
We try to make sure that they have it, but sometimes they don't. Like sometimes you'll play in like a remote place and they don't have the
The
new
last
gear.
year has got a lot better.
It's got a lot.
To have 4 3000s was like the biggest headache
For sure.
for everybody for a while.
Yeah,
but
because the
it's getting better
factory
and
burned
better.
down.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
some-
and COVID, supply chains, all that stuff.
some-
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, it
factory
is
was
getting better,
down,
for
And
sure.
then there was like supply for like chips or something was like a
Mhm.
problem.
Yeah.
The shipping.
Yeah.
Well, just the,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
suppliers.
Everything. Yeah, it's supply chain issue.
But even now, you can't go buy 3000 at Longwood Quick. Like you'd be on like a
Yeah, there's a wait list,
Yeah.
or you gotta find a supplier somewhere, get them
Yeah.
shipped, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
But
we
it
got,
is better.
We got them. So as soon
Oh
as
my
we
God.
got them, we're like, okay, now it's on the Friday.
The way
It
we
was
got
kind of a
them
headache.
was
Yeah.
pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Like they're like impossible to get.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were running the Rise and Shine DJ camps,
Mhm.
and I had pre-ordered like a whole bunch of controllers at Long and McQuaid because I was going to throw these camps and teach kids how to DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Long and McQuaid to pick it up, and they had given me the wrong controllers. And like I
Oh,
needed
no.
like ones that you could just plug straight in, and they
Yeah.
gave me all these other ones.
Computer one.
Computer ones,
Right.
yeah. And
Platforms.
yeah, and I was like, I can't use this. And they're like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. And I'm like, I'm throwing like a kids camp, like you gotta help me. So they're like scrambling, they get this controller, and then they're like, the only other thing we have is like CDJ 3000s that we can rent you. And I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
So we just took it and never gave
Two
it
brand
back.
new in the box.
Oh my
Two
goodness.
brand new in the
We
box.
never gave it back. We're like, okay. And then we just called them and we're like, we're actually gonna like buy these and finance.
Well, she called me and
Yeah.
told me that I'm like, they're not leaving the house. I'm like, take the 2000s.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
2000s. I'm
Yeah.
like, take those. Like, they're not
Yeah.
going to the camps.
Yeah.
The dust camps.
So we
No.
kept them, and then we're like, okay, now we have two, but we're like, we
We
need
need two more now.
We need two more.
Yeah.
So he marches into Long and McQuaid like the next week, and he's like, I need a CDJ 3000, and they're like, yeah, good luck, buddy. Like
20th on the list.
you're 20th on
Oh
the
my
list, blah blah blah.
goodness.
And Josh is like, can I speak to somebody else?
Start speaking.
Talk to another guy, and then this guy gets on the phone, starts calling all the other Long and McQuaids across Canada. Turns out there was one in
Quebec.
Quebec.
Mm.
And
Good
this
one.
guy
Wow.
just so happened to be like coming to Vancouver, so he's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it for you." So like 2 weeks later, we have the CDJ.
So we had 3.
So like,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
just
Talk
like,
about
Don't
timing.
take no for an answer.
yeah, and just manifesting, like know what you want.
Yeah.
Like go for it, feel it like you already have it, and it will come. So
Sorry, everyone. I tell people
Everybody in Canada was looking for that. Yeah.
But that
No,
is
people
like
in Vancouver
where
I've told that story to, and they're like, dude, this is bullshit.
Bummer.
You still can't get one.
mm.
Well, you can eventually. You can. It's just hella slow.
Yeah.
But so we got 3 at least, but we need the 4th one.
we still need a fourth
So-
one.
I don't. The 3 is
Have you
fine.
have you tried avshop.ca? Because they get tons of stuff in stock that sometimes
Mm.
shops take forever to get.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've seen them in stock once in a while there. They do get snapped up obviously, but I have seen
Good
them.
thing we're putting this out on the internet.
Yeah.
For them to
Sponsor
Nobody
your
else
line.
did this, right?
no, for them to take the
Oh.
CDJs.
Yeah, I
I
know.
just love Long McQuaid because I just
Well, I
love
edit that
everything
bit
from
out.
them. They just give
We
you.
should have
They
flagged.
just give it. And anything goes wrong, they take care of me. Like
Yeah,
I've been going
fair.
there for like the whole 20 years.
Yeah.
Forever. So, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny how we got those, but
Mhm.
meant to be.
Our CDJ 2000s we got also because we waited in line overnight.
Yeah, that's how we got Cube 6.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Long and McQuaid always does this attic sale every year.
Oh, yeah.
And they were
September.
half price. So yeah.
Yeah.
So and they only had 3 or
3
4.
or something, yeah.
And so Josh and I and our friend Luke, we all took turns like waiting in line, and we showed up the night before, like before they closed.
Yeah.
And the manager came out and they were like taking pictures of us and
They
like
put it on Twitter. didn't
yeah,
they?
they were so, like already lined up, and we just did shifts and stayed there all night
Yeah,
and
That's good.
went
Yeah,
in
tips, yeah.
and got them.
Yeah.
It's half price.
It's reverse.
So
Yeah.
we're like, we'll do
saved, like,
we'll
$3,000.
lose a bit of
Yeah.
stuff over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. And the friends
Keep
of Cube 6.
Yeah, Keep 6 was there too.
Yeah.
Were they
In the
looking
line
for
as well.
CDJ 2000 as well? or-
They trying to get one. They were, but we were like, they were second in line. I think.
Yeah, you're like, you're not.
Wow.
That's fair. But I think they got a mixer or something.
They got something. They got something. Yeah.
But they were there for the same reason. Because, yeah, there was only
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Consolation
Yeah.
prize.
Yeah.
Mixer.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to the sets.
No
But
judges.
I
Talk
guess
about equipment forever.
it's fun. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. I guess when you guys are actually putting together your set, do you do a lot of set prep beforehand? You were saying you didn't like to share music now, so you share everything probably on different playlists and stuff like that. But when you're going into a show, do you have things pre-prepared ahead of time? Do you talk about where you want to go with the set? Do you discuss? Do you just wing it on the fly?
It depends on the show.
Okay.
But in most cases, we like to walk in being as prepared as possible.
Mhm.
So in most cases, we spend an incredible amount of time preparing our sets and figuring out which songs sound best together. We'll practice the drops and we'll put together like a really tight set
Mhm.
that we are super familiar with. So when we get on stage, we can be super confident
Yeah.
and we can really interact with the crowd and engage and feel the room. So for us, we found that's when we are at our absolute best. Having said that, sometimes we'll play 7 hours or extended sets or an
Just
impromptu
recently.
set.
Yeah.
So like there's no planning for that. And we're always
Yeah.
willing to like switch gears if something isn't
Mhm.
working.
Mhm.
But you know, if we're playing like our Shambhala set, like that, like every second of that set was completely premeditated, like
Yes.
down to the second we knew that. I'm sure if I could go and DJ it right now, I could play it perfectly
Yeah.
because we
Mhm.
practiced it so much.
Choreographed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Organized. Yeah.
yeah. So it just depends.
Certain shows like that, yeah, it's so important, I think. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure everybody gets up for Shambhala, or most DJs.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
ones
feel
that I've
like they
talked
would.
to.
Yeah.
Corrupt UK doesn't.
Corrupt UK doesn't.
Corrupt is like
He
making fun
doesn't
of us.
care.
He's like, you plan your sets.
Yeah, yeah. Every UK, all the UK DJs will say that. They'll all make fun of you for that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could go rock it, but I mean, it's not like we can't. But it's just like, yeah, it's just like it works better, especially with each other.
Yeah.
And we've done it both ways.
Yeah.
And it's still that's not like it's not dope, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, especially because your guys' style is very much like engagement, you know.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
like if you're like busy, like, oh, what's the next track? Well, that's time you're not engaging, you know.
Mhm.
It's like, so knowing what you're gonna play and when you're gonna play it just gives you the freedom
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can deliver better, and it's more fun too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what are some of those elements that you are seeking when you're putting together a show? Obviously, like engaging with the crowd. Are there certain types of sounds or vocals or kind of feelings that you kind of want to put into the sets that you bring to the audience?
I think like one thing that we do a lot is we try to format it so every third song is something that the crowd's gonna know and be able to sing along to, because we play underground house music, right? So a lot of the shit is like like weird wobbly
Yeah.
stuff that we're obsessed with.
Yeah.
But we also want the audience to like feel like they're a part of it and have something that they can bite into. So a lot of times we try to use that format. It doesn't always work, but we'll be like, okay, what have we put, like, we call them anthems. We're like, have we put an anthem in lately so they can sink their teeth into that?
Yeah.
We also like, we keep it super high energy usually. So if we're letting a breakdown happen, it's because we really love the breakdown, or it's one of our new original tracks that we want to showcase the whole thing. What else? High energy.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of like remixes. We love hip hop remixes, and yeah.
We're always doing new shit. Like we're
Just-
always
yeah.
like, no two
Underground
sets
shit
of ours
we've
are
never
ever
heard
going to be the
before.
same.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, we
putting
keep
in
it,
new shit
we
all
keep
the
it
time.
fresh. Yeah. We love playing stuff that we've never played or never heard, like
Mhm.
the newest stuff we can find. Just I don't know, just underground stuff.
Not
we've
scared to
never
throw it
heard
back
before.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I've noticed a lot of those things that you just mentioned kind of in your music as well, and the productions that you've put out. You know, it's like grimy, it's a little bit of hip hop, it's a little bit of like vocals, but those anthems that you have in there too. When you're putting together a track in the studio, those are conscious things that you're putting in too. But what is that negotiation between the two of you, and like how do you put together? Do you put in the kick? Do you put in like, do you have little things that you take ownership of, or is it just kind of blended between the two of you?
It's different every time.
Yeah.
It's definitely different every time, but
That just comes as it comes.
yeah.
You know, like the Lil Wayne remix that we have. It's like I just heard that on the radio one day, and I heard the breakdown that in that song. And I was like, "Oh, this is such a sick breakdown for a bass house track." And I just like heard it then, and then just like messed with it, right? So it could be anytime, anywhere. Like something like that will happen, and I'll just start some little like thing. And
A lot of times
it's so random every time. Like,
it is, but a lot of times he'll start something and then I'll finish it.
Mhm.
That's what happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, that
Now
actually-
that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of touches are you putting in there?
I mean, a lot of times he's really good at doing arrangement stuff.
Mm.
You're organized, I think, in your mind in that way. I do a lot more of like the tedious stuff. So a lot of like the sound design and the EQing, compression, that kind of stuff.
A little bit more on the like technical aspect.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Are you guys enabled to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably just good at arrangement because of all the years of DJing. I just know like,
Yeah, you're
how
really
the
good
track should breathe.
Yeah.
He's also
Yeah.
really good.
Mixing in and out, right?
Yeah. You're
I
also
guess.
really good at like his like vibe check is really good.
Mm.
So I'll be like working on something for hours and then I'll play it for him and he'll be like, nope, right away.
You gotta be honest.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
I love that.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Go back to the drawing board.
And sometimes it fucking hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But she'll think something's so awesome. I'm like, honestly, like, no. And she'll, it sucks, right? But
Yeah.
I can, you can.
It's hard when you're invested into it to
Yeah.
see it
Yeah.
fully
You
rationally.
work on it all day. You're like, this is sick. I'm like, nah. Like, and I gotta be. You always have to be honest. And we are really good with that
Mhm.
because you have to be. Because, like, oh, fuck, if you're not, right?
Mhm.
Because then
Yeah.
it's gonna be making bullshit, or you're gonna have to go back and do it again.
Mhm.
So,
I think that's why there's
Yeah.
a lot of value in like taking a break too and
Yeah,
stepping
fresh eyes,
away
yeah.
from it.
Mhm.
Because if you get too locked into it, you're unable to like perceive it from a different angle. And yeah,
that's why I like having a couple different tracks we're working on too.
Yeah.
Like, not too many. Like, my brother will have like, fuck, he'll be working on like 30 or 50. Like, that's how he is. Like,
he's not.
and he does it. And my brother will make like 5 tracks in a day. Like, he's bonkers.
Wow.
But 2 or 3 maybe at most, or even 2.
Well, we have a
kinda.
lot of projects right now.
Kind of,
that
but
we're
real
really
ones that we're
working on.
working on.
Yeah.
And then you can just like stop that
Mhm.
and go to this,
Mhm.
and it's like and then that you get like this fuel from that. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know?
it's actually and not to go too off topic, but Einstein actually coined the phrase. He would call that his version of multitasking. So people think multitasking is doing 2 things at the same time, but what he was like, it's like you have to have multiple things you're working on the go, so that like again, like exactly like you said, you're working on this, but you're like, oh, I'm kind of at a block on this idea. I'm gonna go finish up this project or do this one here, and it's like, oh, this is kind of stumped. I'll just go to this one.
Mhm.
So that's how he did his science stuff,
Mhm.
his thing. So
Like
yeah.
a brain rat.
Yeah,
It's like going
yeah.
to bed, waking up the
Yeah.
next day.
So he
Thinking on
kept.
it.
So he called that multitasking. He was like,
Mm.
that's what he did
Mm.
to keep.
Because yeah, multitasking is
Yeah.
bullshit. Or
Yeah.
at least your work will.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. You can't like work on a song and paint a picture at the same time. It's just not, or listen to a different song while you're working on that song. Like you just.
Yeah,
But it's just like
multitasking,
But it's like actually just. It's like project hopping.
Yeah.
Having multiple projects. Don't be stuck on one project
Yeah.
if you can't. If you're at a block, just bang your head against
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, walking away.
Yeah, I
from
think
it.
that's really good.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Yeah.
not too many. I mean, for me and us, I guess, anyways. But
Mhm.
some people can. Like my brother, he's fucking wild.
So
Yeah,
he's a
oh,
producer
shit.
as well.
Yeah, he makes drum breaks. Yeah.
Does he also
Rock out.
DJ too?
Oh yeah, he's been DJing the whole time. It's pretty much. I think he pretty much started when I did, or maybe a little bit after me.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, he brought me to my first party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Do we know
Luke Brucko, DJ Brucko. Yeah.
him? Brecco.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's been doing it forever. But yeah, he's all drum bass. He makes gangster shit. So it's really good. Yeah, check him out.
Yeah.
Nice. So you guys have a whole bunch of songs out the door, which is amazing. And I guess in that too is like, how do you know when the song is done? / how do you get it there? Because I've heard so many artists being like, I love producing, I love making music, but it's so hard for me to finish it.
Fuck, it's never done. That pisses me off. I still play the track. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't. You have to learn to let go.
Just let it go.
It's done when you feel good about it. It's done when you feel excited to share it. I think.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, because I think that people get really stuck on not putting it out because they're worried about how it's gonna land,
Mhm.
and that's not up to us.
No.
Mhm.
You know, so as long as you do something that you like, you're proud of, you think it's your best possible work that you can do in this moment, and you feel like compelled to share it, I think that
I think that's the key. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a person who suffers from perfectionism,
Mhm.
sometimes it's like once it's to the point where it's like you want to show it to someone, like that seems like a really good cutoff. Like
Mhm.
once it's ready to be shown off,
Mhm.
like if you think that, especially as a perfectionist,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because for me, like there's times where like I'll be like, this is ready to show off, but I'm not done with it yet, and then I'll spend another
Like you're
obnoxious amount of time on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why did I
It'll
do
never
that?
be done.
Yeah.
That's the thing is perfect.
I mean, having said that too, like we'll make a track and then we'll be like, okay, yeah, let's go test it. So then we'll go play it live, and then we'll know right away. Like this last summer, like we had a song called Chit Chat, and we thought it was dope, and then we played it, and we made the mistake of being like, this is our new track, and then everyone's like, yeah, and then we're like, okay, let's not say that. And so you don't say that, and then you can see that it like falls flat, and we're like, fuck. So back to the drawing board. Redid like the drums, redid the bass line. Now it's like I think it's our best song.
Not even falls flat with like the crowd, but like it's like a different energy when you're in the studio or playing it with your friends than with the crowd. Like even you will hear things and be like, oh, like I can hear things like coming out like that, you know, like you just get to hear it in a different way, almost like you never heard it before.
Especially when you're sandwiching between two other tracks, right? So it's like, how's this working in the set?
How does it flow in and out, in and out?
And as soon as you share something, you see it differently.
As
soon as you're ready to like export it and give it to someone, you all of a sudden start like, you've ever done where you like about to like send an email or something, and then all of a sudden, or you send it to yourself, or and then all of a sudden you like you see all these mistakes that you didn't see before. It's like as soon as you're able to like peel yourself away from it, different things will come into your perspective. So I think like a song is done. I mean, almost done when you're ready to share it. But then after that, for us, like there's definitely times where we go back and finesse things and then try again. But I think like the key point is not being overly obsessed with what people are going to think about it or what people are going to think about you, because that's not our job.
Don't even.
And like going back to the prisms, like everyone's different. And so as long as we feel good about it, that's all that fucking matters. And be consistent with that.
We were talking to Donald last week, and he was like, I forgot the point that it just flew out of my head. But he was saying something about like, I just lost the point. It'll come back to me. Because I had the point, and I was like, who said that? And then I figured out who said that, and then the point was like, bye.
I think there's so many elements of this that has kind of contributed to your longevity, because you've been DJing for, it sounds like, I don't want to put a number, but
24 years this year.
24 years,
Last month,
And so like honesty, gauging the crowd's reaction, keeping things high energy. Are there some things that are kind of left, you would say left on the table by other DJs, that you kind of pick up and feel like this is something special that I contribute to the world of DJing or to the world of production? Do you have like a tap on that special sauce and kind of can name it for you guys?
I think that's such a tough question. Like I don't ever like to like compare us to anyone else, because I think we're all so different. I think before we do anything and everything, we always set intentions. We're always like, okay, how, like before we walked in here today, we're like in the car, we're like, okay, these are the things we want to get across, or this is how we want it to feel. This is our intention for what it's going to be like. And so we always do that before our sets. I don't know if other DJs are doing that too, but one of our main intentions is usually to bring like really high energy and to share elevated emotions with everyone on the dance floor, and to like just bring this big, palpable, beautiful energy that's so large and contagious, you know, so people just lean in. So I don't know if that sets us apart from other people, or other people do that too, but I think that maybe is a unique thing that we do. We're always setting intentions and very intentional about like where we direct our focus and where we direct our energy. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. And I guess like over the years of me DJing for so long and just being in the scene for that long, you'd see just seeing so many things and DJs and people come and go, and different vibes and styles, and certain ones stay, and just like it's very cool to have been able to witness all the differences through that. Like you say, you go to a trap show and a trance show, and I threw hip hop shows and been to raves and festivals all over the world, and like that's a, you know, it's a long time to be in the scene, I guess. So you see a lot. I've seen a lot. It's games like it used to just be vinyl. That's all there was. Now somebody playing vinyl People are like, what the fuck?
Well,
Like, it's
You got it on your phone now.
They'll, like,
Yeah.
lose it. They'll lose it. Like, got 4
Yeah.
million views on it on
Yeah.
YouTube or something. If you put that on vinyl set.
Yeah.
So I've seen, lots of stuff, which is cool because then I feel like I've heard a lot of different sounds, so I kind of have like a bit of an advantage with an ear, I guess, maybe with certain, with tracks and stuff. Like, it's a bit of a gift, I guess, when it comes to crate digging,
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool over the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of the point that I was gonna make. So Dom was like, when you're working on a track or whatever, it's like once you get to the point where, as somebody who's been doing it so long, who's really in the scene, into the science of music, all that stuff. Once you think it's dope, there's a really, really insanely high chance that somebody else is gonna think it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're not there, obviously, like you were saying, you're not there to please everybody.
Mhm.
But if you think you like it and it's awesome, there's probably a good chance that a bunch of people think it's going to be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
So it's at that point, it's kind of ready
Mhm.
to go to the world.
To the world,
Mhm.
yeah. What your vibe attracts your tribe too,
Mhm.
as the saying goes. But I guess when in your travels and all this experience that you have too, are there elements that you found inspiration in that you want to bring back to Vancouver and in your shows too, that you go see in like international shows and at Shambhala too, like you're saying, you kind of fell in love with the music and the vibe there and the energy. Are there certain things around the world that have that you brought back in or that you want to promote more?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could say like I kind of like how Europe does it. Like when it comes to like their times and stuff. Like it used to kind of be like that in Vancouver way back. Like you go to P&E shows till like 10 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Plaza Nations.
Plaza
and stuff.
Nations shows, yeah.
That kind of is like not
You
really
show up at
happening
like
anymore.
2.
Yeah.
Almost.
Right, but that's not a thing really. So, but in Europe, it's like fully how it is.
One thing
So
I
that would be
really want
cool if we could bring
Vancouver.
that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was like a real rave scene, right? But
Mhm.
everything
That's what I
Nations
consider.
ends at like 1, right?
Yeah, that's
And
when
like
the
then-
word rave was said to me when I was younger. That's what my impression of what
Yeah.
a rave was. Like it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's almost after
Yeah.
hours. It's like underground music. It's
Mhm.
like really like people in those like sweatpants, soothers, there's LEDs and
Mhm. Kids, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like that's what, before I listened to the music, because I had some friends who were really deep into that scene that I was so like, I hated that shit. Like I
Mhm.
hated that trance music or the speed garage or all that stuff that people just hated.
Mhm.
But my ear wasn't tuned to it yet in like the early
You were
2000s, right?
educated.
But like you said, the vibe though of just like, it was so different from the hip hop or club scene. It's just so different. It's
Mhm.
like literally nothing similar,
Mhm.
and it's just like even
And the people too, the community.
the community of people,
Mhm.
everything. It's just so different. And I'm talking about in the early 2000s. Like now it's a completely different ballgame. But like,
Totally.
yeah. So when people said rave, to me, rave was not a festival. To me, rave was not like a club DJ set.
Mhm.
Like in the early 2010s and stuff when I
Yeah.
really started getting into it.
Mhm.
When I heard the word rave, what I thought was 2 a.m. to 10 or whatever, in some dungeon with a lot of LED lights. There's somebody giving a massage to somebody in the corner there. There's somebody in a soother in the corner petting somebody.
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought a rave was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but-
yeah.
But like to experience like Plaza Nations, see the sun come up at Plaza Nations, like it's
Yeah.
kind of shitty that Vancouver doesn't really have
Yeah.
that. You can't do that anymore. And it was like that was.
I
mean,
think
it was
even in
amazing.
those days, like
amazing.
those shows were borderline not supposed to.
Again, well, that was the thing.
Right.
The government and city was kind of like not
Like
sure.
we're not
Like,
sure what's
the
going on right now.
Yeah, same with the cabbage fields. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, 10 grand, yeah, like, shit probably did happen.
Yeah, Wild West.
And then they started, coming down on it. But like the Plaza days were amazing. But
They
they
were,
still do that in Europe. I think parts of maybe America, but not even really there. It's more like club stuff. And I guess it's cool to go to Foundation and then celebrity stuff for him, but it's not the same.
It's not the
It's
same.
not. It's not that like scene. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's more about like a bar. It's booze. Like it's different.
And
right?
even-
Plaza wasn't like
Even
that.
the after hours scenes here, I would not call them raves.
No, and they're tiny. They're not like I went to a Plaza bar that had like 4,000 people once.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
when
for
they,
sure.
before they started coming down the numbers,
Yeah.
like and the sun was coming up in the glass ceiling, like
Yeah.
like so that'd be something we could bring back to
Yeah.
Vancouver, but
Yeah.
If
talk
they
to the
do-
mayor.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
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 It's just so everything's so over.
Apparently he likes fun. I don't know if that's the kind
Yeah.
of fun he's talking about, but
Yeah. But I mean, go to Ibiza. And
yeah.
They got it.
I'd love to see
Yeah.
more stuff like happen coastally too, because we're a coastal city,
Mhm.
but there's not
Right.
really much that's happening on the water. Like, how sweet would it be if we had some awesome patios that we could have dance parties on the
Mhm.
water, on
Yeah.
the ocean.
Totally.
Like
So
everywhere else
I
we
would
go on the
love
water.
that. Yeah, if you
There's
go to a
like
coastal
bars
city, like
everywhere.
you're DJing to the crowd in the ocean.
Yeah.
And here it's no bueno. So
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
that.
Somebody would complain, and then that one person would literally change the, the
Yeah.
flow
All
of
clubs
that
shut down everywhere.
But everywhere you go that has like a beach like ours is like littered with that. Like it's
Yeah.
very well again, it's our government, I guess. So
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
that's what we were.
run for mayor.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always run for mayor.
Oh yeah. Could you imagine me in politics? Oh my.
Yeah, I can.
Holy.
Right.
That would be an
Boy.
experience. I don't know.
Well, they can't afford it, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we can bring that back, or we can just go to Ibiza and go back. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. No,
Well, the good thing is you guys are hosting and holding and throwing your own party at D6 too.
Yeah.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
You guys are on the lineup with Freddie J. We've got
Yeah.
87 Dove, myself, New Girl as well.
Mhm.
So I guess putting together a show like that, it's coming up in a couple of weeks. We've already announced the show. It's going to come up too. But what is kind of like some of the steps and some of the processes you guys have in like throwing a show, putting it together, contacting the venue, that sort of thing? Do you have like kind of a formula you guys do follow? Or is it just kind of every show is different?
For this one, I mean, yeah, every show is definitely different, but
Mhm.
I mean, Josh and I have been throwing around the idea of doing, like, we love to dress up and we love costume parties and we're obsessed with it.
Mhm.
So we kind of had an opportunity to do something with D6, potentially I think was it last year or was
Last summer. Yeah.
last summer? Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and we were no, and we wanted to do like a Boogie Nights theme party,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
70s
Yeah.
outside kind of thing, and that was our idea, and it didn't end up working out schedule wise.
Mhm.
And then we got this opportunity to work with them again, and Jamal 87 Dove has a good relationship with them, so he was our link to D6.
Mhm.
And we had an idea for doing we were like, okay, it's Easter long weekend, so we chose the Thursday before the Friday night, and then we were like, okay, let's do vintage Playmate theme because we thought that would be
Mhm.
like sexy and we
So
still
cute.
like the 70s kind of
Mhm.
theme.
Have you guys been to the
D6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that bad, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very
Totally.
vintage
Yeah,
looking
totally.
Yeah,
in
it's
there.
Playboy party.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Totally.
So I think first is we usually have a concept or an idea or something, we're inspired by something. Maybe there's a DJ that's coming to town that we want to work with or something, but this one was we were inspired by the idea and by the venue.
Mhm.
And then after that, I mean, I don't know, what would you say is next? Thinking of the lineup,
Mhm.
Yeah.
meeting with the venue.
Yeah, so what goes into a lineup that you guys kind of look for in different kinds of artists and putting them together in a lineup like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the show. So,
Mhm.
I mean, smaller shows are always hard because you can only pick a couple people. That's why festivals are great because you can pick 50.
All the
Especially if you have a three-day
Yeah.
festival or
Yeah.
something, right?
And we have so many DJ friends too, so it's we always feel bad that if you choose someone and not someone else. But
Yeah, I've been buddies with Freddie for a while, and he's been asking. He actually was supposed to play, or he did come out to play Rise and Shine the year we had the flood, and then he did this little after party thing with us, but he didn't really get to play. So
Mhm.
he's been wanting to come back to Van for a while, and
and he's one of my favorite DJs.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
awesome.
There's a reason why he's played for After Force 13 years.
Yeah.
He's
yeah, he
So
opens
good.
it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as he
Yeah.
was on the lineup, my friend messaged, "Oh my God, Freddie's on!
Yeah.
I'm coming to Vancouver."
Yeah, he's so awesome. Yeah,
Fun
Van
fact
Vancouver.
about Freddie J, his name is Alex.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Or someone called him Alex. I'm like, who are you talking about? We're in a book.
Yeah.
That was trippy.
But if you call him Freddie, it works too.
Yeah.
Right. We'll probably respond.
Yeah.
And we're actually playing for him that same weekend. And I was like, why don't you come out for this? We had this, because we were kind of just still an idea.
Mhm.
I'm like, what, do you want to come out for the Thursday and do something with us, and then we'll come do Saturday with you and cover it?
Yeah,
And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So that was it.
that's a great collaboration.
Yeah, and then
And then we love doing the contest thing too. That's fun.
yeah,
Mm.
We've been doing that for like forever. Isn't that how we met, like Sibs and Nagar?
yeah, nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
I feel like that's how I got my start too. I feel like I entered a contest and I won the contest. It was for Kumo,
Yeah,
and then I was put on the lineup for Kumo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of contests.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So like, and now we have all these DJs who submitted mixes, and now we're gonna go listen to them.
Yeah.
And like Jamal won our last DJ
Yeah,
mix,
yeah.
and
No
now
way.
he's not only on the lineup with us, but throwing a show with us too.
Yeah.
So it's cool because it connects you with different people, gives them other DJs like a chance to
Mhm.
showcase their skills.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say, yeah. So then for the D6 show, then we were like, the venue has this like unique hidden
Yeah,
room
that
behind
library.
the bookcase,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we were like,
Mhm.
okay, what we wanted to call it the spring break room. We're like, because
Mhm.
it's spring break time and it
Mhm.
goes with like the whole
The break
bunny theme.
room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we were just tossing around ideas of who we wanted in there, and then we were like, oh, it'd be cool if it was live stream. So then we thought of DJ New Girl, and we thought of
Mhm.
you, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just like, I guess I don't think there's ever like a checklist of like, okay, they have to have this many followers, or you know, this. It's just like natural and flowing, and like
Mhm.
whenever
If
If
that
it fits, when it fits, it's obvious, and you're like
Yeah.
that.
Just
Exactly.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, promotions are harder because you can only pick. Usually, there's a big list.
Yeah, you want
A
you
decent
yeah,
sized
yeah.
list of people
Yeah.
you want, but
And you only have 5 hours of time to book
Yeah.
it in, yeah.
yeah, if that sometimes.
Yeah, that, yeah.
But it's nice to be able to have the second room, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Excited
And I
for
will
that.
say too that like networking is so incredibly important, and showing face is so
Mhm.
important,
Mhm.
because we are way more likely to book someone that we were just talking to last week than
For sure.
if we've never talked to them at all or
Yeah.
don't see them ever.
Mhm.
So I think that,
Jamal's great at that. He is
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so there's
Always
just
shows up.
show face is what we call it. We're like,
Of
show
course,
face.
yeah.
Let's go, just be there and bring the best of your energy, and you never know like who you're gonna run into, who you're gonna uplift. Maybe you can provide an opportunity for someone else, and vice versa. So I think just like showing up is really, really
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
And like a lot of times when we're booking our lineups, we're like, oh, we've been vibing with this person, or we're doing a collab with them,
Mhm.
or we're exchanging tracks, or we just saw them at a festival and we had a really good time. We want to hang out with them again.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's as
For real.
simple as
Mhm.
that.
For real,
you
yeah.
know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that, then I think you don't ever get upset when you don't get booked for something either. You know, you're never like, oh, why am I not playing this festival this year? Because
Mhm.
it's just like this constant flow of things that are happening that are so beyond our control.
Mhm.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah, you can't let shit like that.
No.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Letting it flow
Yeah.
back. Yeah, and just enjoying and vibing and finding good people around you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
gonna be good.
if you were to project yourself into the future 5 years, and then you look back at all the beautiful things that you've had, 20 years, and in these 5 years, next 5 years, what are some of the things that you want to go to, accomplish, create, put together, big dreams, aspirations? Where are you guys headed?
Where are we headed, baby?
I would say I would like to look. Our big dreams would definitely be to play all the big festivals and probably in America. And there's some big ones in Europe I'd like to play.
Mhm.
Brazil. I'd love to play
Mhm.
Brazil. I feel like our sound would do really well down there. Put out another album. I think would be nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since we've done that, so it's fun making singles and like EPs. A lot of singles,
Mhm.
but it'd be cool to do another album. I like doing an album was really fun. It was like a concept thing, kind of a story album, so it was fun.
Mhm.
I don't know if we'd do that again, but that'd be sweet. Yeah.
I think like just doing both of us doing music full time
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
traveling together a lot more. I mean, we do travel a lot already, but
Mhm.
it would be nice because we both have other jobs as well. So doing it full time would be a big goal. And then there's definitely a lot of festivals. Like we want to play Coachella, obviously, and that would be like a big
That'd be sick.
full circle moment
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So
That'd be so
that's
sick.
like
Yeah.
a big,
So amazing.
big dream of
Yeah.
ours.
And landing in a bottle too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hit all the ones that you first met at
Yeah.
and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Very exciting. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for
Anything
having
that
us.
you want to share to the next generation, that you want to impart and pass on to people's the DJs, the producers of Vancouver and the world. Any magic sauce that you want to sprinkle around?
I think just follow your bliss. Like,
Yeah.
I think we all have this like internal guidance system that is so real and so true. And we're so used to listening to all the noise and what everyone thinks around us. And I think that that can really thwart our own creativity and really like our own efficiency. So I think that we just have to listen within and follow what feels good and follow the excitement, because where there's excitement, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's light.
Mhm.
And I think that is the path of least resistance. It's like just go and enjoy it, because there's no happy ending to a journey that's not happy.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
have to enjoy it and like follow what we think is awesome, what we think is good, what we think rocks. Like go with that.
Mhm.
Fuck everything else.
Fuck everything else.
Fuck it.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, just do it for you. Do it for you 100%. Like when I first started, it was just me in my bedroom with records. There was no one could like or see anything I did forever,
Mhm.
for years. Like it didn't matter. I didn't give a shit. I just like I was obsessed with finding records and mixing these things together at the right speed. Like it was just
Yeah.
like, if I didn't follow that, I wouldn't be here. Like I didn't matter what anyone else thought. So like you don't need to worry about that shit. Like do not. Just do what you love.
Mhm.
Follow it, and the people will find you, and you'll
Yeah.
find and collaborate and
Yeah.
create and do all the things.
Yeah. And have goals and shit, sure, but don't, if the road goes this way or that way, whatever. Like
Just
she
go with
said,
it,
just
yeah.
go with the river and enjoy the journey, man. Just do what you love.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having
so
us.
much.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's fun. Yeah.
Make sure to follow them on all their social medias. Playhop is coming soon,
Yeah.
March 28th.
Eight.
Good Thursday.
Good
Very
Thursday.
It's gonna be
It'll be a very
It's
good
gonna be
Thursday.
really
so
excited.
excited. Headlining Freddie J. We're in the spring break room. So if you guys are on Twitch, which we're streaming to right now, we will be on the Duo channel.
And I'll drop you a promo code for Playhop. So
Yay.
all caps, AC loved you.
All
Yay.
in one- all in
Loves
one.
you.
AC loves you, and we love you too. We don't have the promo code, so make sure to use them. Follow our social medias, subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
Yep.